Hi. Oh, okay. My name's Bruce, and this is my classroom in the forest. And welcome. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for watching. And if you've been watching all along, thank you for that. Oh, by the way, why don't you do me a little bit of a help the situation out here and uh, hit the like button. If you like it, hit the like button. If you don't like it, hit the like button. Either way, hit the like button. That'd be great. And while you're at it, leave a comment and say, that guy's great. Say anything you like in the comments. Leave a good comment, a bad comment, an argumentative comment, any kind of comment you want. Makes no matter. I mean, I'm interested in finding out what you have to say. Anyway, okay, this is my classroom in the forest, and if you've been following along, you know that I try to do three things. I talk about a thing, I talk about a person, and then we bring it together a bit with an idea. Sometimes it goes off the rails, but not really. Anyway, all right, talk about the thing. We talk about something that I don't have here with me. Maybe I'll, throw in a B-roll, as they say, so you can see it. But I'm going to talk about the Apple computers. I'm going to talk about the Macintosh. I'm going to talk about the M1 Mini. Now, why am I doing this? Because, well, for the past 25 years, longer. I've been buying computers to keep up with my evolving demands on computers, and it gets a little bit, it's expensive. There you go. Okay, so if you know a bunch about me, you'll know why, and if you don't, we can talk about that later. But anyway, so about 2 years ago, year and a half, whenever it was, Apple announced these M1 chips, and they have an M1 Mac Mini. And then I noticed that a lot of people seemed to be having some success with this, and so lo and behold, I bought one. I bought the least expensive one that was available at the time. I think it was less than $1,000, and holy smoke, is it ever awesome. I've been using this thing for the last 2 years. I feel no impairment whatsoever in my day-to-day function. It allows me to edit videos. Well, if you've been watching the videos, you know that I'm not the world's greatest video editors, but I edit the videos. I edit sometimes thousands of photographs simultaneously. Do a whole bunch of concurrent tasks on this thing, and I'm constantly amazed at how great it is. So when I explain it to friends and family, I say, look, the thing's 10 times better and half the price. Holy smoke. Wow. Progress, go figure. Thanks for that. Yeah, I don't, this is no one in their right mind is going to sponsor these videos. And if somebody wants to um, get in touch, hook me up, great. Love that. But really, that's not my motivation. And although I'm in the forest, there's still activity in the forest. So if you hear some extra noise, there you go. So that is the thing that I'm going to talk about. The second part of the video here is I'm going to talk about a person. I had a bunch of choice about who I was going to talk about, but the person is going to be Fidel Castro. Or I could just pick Raul Castro, but I'm going to go with Fidel Castro. Now, Fidel Castro is his brother Raul was the presidente, the dictator of Cuba. And okay, so why am I talking about this person? Is because somewhere along the lines, his version of the role of government, like where you want to maximize the well-being of everyone, came off the rails, and it became a demonstration it's almost a demonstration of what not to do. But let's not speak overly ill about the dead, and let's focus on some positive things. Okay, now that's the Castro guys. Oh, by the way, I was at one point I attended not in a supportive sense, but I in a anthropological curiosity sense, I attended a one of these giant rallies in Havana, Cuba, and Raul was present, and let me tell you, it was an experience. It was very, very, very interesting. Okay, now what does this have to do with anything? All right. Okay. Where I got this is because in my visits to Cuba, I couldn't help but notice that they're missing some stuff. Havana is in a kind of not a great state of repair. The infrastructure is practically non-existent. Little things that we take for granted, running water, functional sewage system, functional electricity, transit and all that stuff. It's not present in the way that I would like to see it present. Okay, but the fact that that the country is working as well as it is, and in many respects it's working fabulously. I mean, they have they're leading the world in some categories that are healthcare, infant mortality, life expectancy. They're doing very well in, and these very well things is a testament to the resilience and fortitude and intellect and sense of love that the Cuban people really have, and that's great. Okay, now what does this have to do with anything? All right, if you recall, you've been following along. I said that governments don't spend money. Okay, governments don't spend money, and I talked about this thing called the which is called in economics, it's called the production possibility curve. It looks like this, or you can probably come up with different diagrammatical representations to convey the idea. But basically, if you consider this axis, and this is all the peoples, and up here is all the stuff that you have to work with. And then you have this thing, and this space in here is all the combinations of people and stuff. Okay, so a simple example is I'm standing in the middle of the forest, and if I'm going to stay here for an evening and I want to be warm, I might notice that there's a bunch of wood lying around. So the stuff I have is wood, the people I have is me, the knowledge I have is I'm cold, let's build a fire. Okay, so by a magical mechanism, I managed to build a fire. So the thing that I can produce in my fairy tale imaginary economy that I have in the woods here is a little bit of warmth and some comfort and some happiness and some fire. All right. Okay. Now let's continue on to another idea. Right. To simplify things, let's pretend that the government's role in society is to maximize the well-being of everyone. That's it. That's the job. Okay. A person's role, an individual's role in society is to maximize your utility, to get the most usefulness, the most happiness, the most joy that you can out of everything and every day. Okay? And we do that usually in cooperation with others. All right. And then we have businesses. And the role of business in society is to make a profit. It's that straightforward. Business wakes up in the morning. It's what do they want to do? They want to make money. All right. Okay. Great. That's what we have. Now, this idea that government, for the simplification of the discussion, we're going to say that the government consists of one entity, one decision maker. And let's, I don't for one second suggest that that's a good idea, just having one person making all the decisions, as you don't have to look very far or very long to recognize why that doesn't work out, especially in the long run. It just doesn't work out. One thing is because it deprives your country, deprives your economy of the wisdom of the other guy. So you don't hold, I certainly don't hold all the great ideas, and all the ideas that I'm talking about in these videos are not mine generally. You know, this is stuff. Okay, I talked about that a long time ago. These ideas. They're time tested and warm. Okay, so let's pretend that you are the sole decision maker in society. Okay, so over here, you have a bunch of people. Okay, and over here, you have some stuff. Here's some mountains, some trees, some water, some sunshine, some wind shine. You have all stuff. Okay. So you have people and you have stuff. Okay. So what you need is progresso. Now, Cuba. Okay. Cuba has people. Cuba has stuff. And Cuba kind of has one decision maker, or okay. So there's an impairment. So if you subscribe to the idea that governments spend money, then it's a non-starter. Right? It goes nowhere. Right? Do we have any money? No. Pretty much. Do we need to do something here? Yes, pretty much. Oh, geez. Well then, we want to, but we can't. Okay. So if you stick with this thing where you want and need things, but the money is not there, you're going nowhere. And what happens is, over here you have all these people, and what do? Kind of nothing. I mean, they're going to do what people do in society, is try to maximize their pleasure in every day and their benefit and their food. So they're going to basically scrounge. There's a word, scrounge. Means looking around, trying to find what, you have to feed yourself, you have to feed your family, you have to feed your children, so you do what you can. People are resilient. There you go. Then over here, what you have is a whole bunch of stuff, okay? Resource stuff. And if you have this idea that you don't have any money, you can't do anything, then the stuff just lays fallow. Doesn't go anywhere. Nothing happens. Okay. So now what? Now what are you going to do? Okay, so you're the governor, the government person. So you say, well, geez, so what we're going to do is we're going to identify the things that we need. Okay, so earlier I mentioned the city of Havana and the absence of, a functioning sewer that's occurred through decades of poor maintenance, and that there's a lot of reasons. This can be a bigger discussion, but anyway, so we have to make things better. So what we do is we're going to do something real magic. This money is because in the government sense, money is essentially immaterial, but in the people sense, in the same way I talked earlier about how a tree doesn't know it's a tree, an apple doesn't know it's an apple, money doesn't know it's money. So let's do this. Let's just make some. What do you mean make some? Well, I mean make it. Just print it, put it in people's accounts, write it on a piece of paper, give vouchers, say, okay, we need you to do X. We need you to do this. In this instance, what we need is to have, repair, restitution of municipal or civic infrastructure. Okay, and so we give these people tokens, money, to use the resources to execute the task of maximizing the benefit of society. That's what governments are supposed to do. Then some genius somewhere is going to say, well, wait a second, these resources don't look like the resources that we need to achieve this task. And then you say, well, yeah, that's true. But some brilliant person in some other place has invented the thing that we need, whatever that thing is. In this case, it's let's just say sewer pipe and pumps. Okay, well, they have sewer pipe and pumps. We don't have sewer pipe and pumps. We'd like to have sewer pipe and pumps so that our guys can use shovels and manual labor to execute the task of making everyone's life better and getting this ball rolling. Say, okay, geez, now what do we do? Okay, so if you're the decision maker, what you do is you call up your pal in the other economy over there that has the stuff that you need, and you say, you have something I need, and at this moment I don't have anything that you need, but let's work it out. Let's fix that. And so the person over there says, hey, I'll play ball. Yeah, let's do this. Okay, we'll help. Okay. So then what happens is the person over there, this country, this nation, this economy, takes some of their sewer pipe and pumps and such, and sends them over here. And not only do they send that, but they also send, let's just say they send a person with expertise in exactly what to do, and then magically it all works out. Now, we are humans, okay? We are humans. So when we think of time span, when we think of our decision-making process as a person, what I think, I think about what I want for breakfast. I think about what I want for lunch. I think about what I want for dinner. I think about what I want to do tomorrow. I think about how I can make my life happier, to maximize my utility, okay? But you notice that my time span is like measured in hours or days or weeks, okay? And it takes a fairly inspired person to take the time span and move it out to even a year, or to 5 years, or to 10 years, or to 20 years, okay? And I'm not suggesting some 20-year central plan or something like that, because that's just, remember that takes away from these people's intellect, the adjustment as we go along. But what I am saying is that an individual, this is your time area, your lifespan, your mental process, okay? But an economy, a nation, an entity, the time span is much greater. So if you're the person that was on the receiving end of the phone call, or the handwritten note, or the personal visit to say, you have something that can help us, please help us, and perhaps you were the 35th person that was visited, and the previous 34 people said no, because they didn't have the inspiration that was necessary at the time. The 35th person said, yeah, I can do that, let's do that, and we'll figure it out. We'll work it out later, okay? And someone had suggested that I discuss reciprocity in these videos, but this is an example of reciprocity, okay? There's a term in anthropology called generalized reciprocity, which means it's the kind of exchange that we have in families or among parents and children where it's give, help, without a moment's consideration of payback, a moment's consideration of return. And when you're helping your children, you're not thinking, hey, sunshine, I'm keeping a tally here. Actually, I think Loretta Lynn had a song about that. So Loretta Lynn, Tammy Wynette, there's a song about this, about a child who gave his mother a bill for the chores, and she's like, geez, and then so the mother goes off and makes a bit of a list of all the things that she had done for the child, and hands it back, and then there's the big awakening moment in the country music song, and it's a good song if you like it. But anyway, this idea of generalized reciprocity. So what I'm saying here is that the spectrum of reciprocity, and one end is I give you $1, I want my $1 back. Not only do I want my $1 back, but I want some consideration for the fact that you had my $1 for a while, and so I want $1.10 back next Tuesday. That's called interest, or if you're watching The Sopranos, it's the VIG. Okay, that's extreme end of reciprocity. The other end is the generalized reciprocity. Nobody's keeping score. Okay, this is on the continuum, is over here somewhere. Is the enlightened entity is providing some semi-finished goods to this other people that need assistance without thinking too much about exactly what they're getting back, but there's an understanding that what they're creating is a relationship, a friendship, a spirit of cooperation, and maybe not this week, and maybe not next month, and maybe not next year, but this relationship will blossom. This other nation will do what they're supposed to do, which is expand their production possibility curve to the point where they have excess of whatever, and then they can participate in trade, which that's a topic for later. It's called trade and comparative advantage and such. It's kind of interesting. It's why there you are. But the point of this is that this idea of money is, in a strict accounting sense, is an impediment when it comes to economies, to government. Government does not spend money. The role of government is to make sure that this stuff over here, the resources, are being used by the people over here to maximize the well-being of all these people while being respectful of the evolution of our criteria. Okay, so evolution of criteria. So at one time it was acceptable to throw your litter on the ground. It was acceptable to do all sorts of strange things. And what's an example? You could the litter one, or litter is a kind of an easy one, because someone has a beautiful lawn and I throw a bunch of trash on it. Well, it's not rocket science to recognize that that's bad. It takes a little more insight to recognize that dumping carbon dioxide into the atmosphere willy-nilly is not good. And not only is it not good, but it's really, really, really not good. And there you go. So our criteria advances as we study the world around us and we learn about the mechanisms that make everything work and have a further comprehension. These criteria changes. So there you are. So we have the resources, we have people, we have possibility. Okay, possibility, the future, the quest, right? The quest for more. More, and not only more, but more and better. More, better. Okay. Anyway, my name's Bruce. This has been my classroom in the forest. I hope that I certainly hope that you find it somewhat entertaining. I don't know. Geez. There you go. So thank you very much. And like I said, if you could subscribe to this stuff, great. And if you could push the like button, great. And if you leave a comment, even better. I mean, I like comments. I mean, if you don't notice, I like talking. And a good part about talking is interchange. I got some more stories about that later. But anyway, it's a gorgeous day in the forest. Let me tell you, I got gorgeous over here. I got gorgeous over here. I got gorgeous over here. I got beautiful everywhere. All right. Lately, I've been in my maybe advancing years, but I've been taking great pleasure in feeding the birds, like putting a little bit of stuff on the bird feed. Now I know that birds are wildlife, and blah blah blah. Yeah, but I mean, a few seeds can't possibly do long-term harm. Maybe I'm a little bit hypocritical on that, but I'm putting out some bird seed, and I've been watching a spectrum of species come. And just yesterday, I had a woodpecker go wow right by my head. It's like, wow, geez. And the thing's as big as a seagull. I was astonished. Anyway, thank you very much, and goodbye. Okay, bye.